Same song, second verse.
Y'all do know that the Astros are playing at 7:03?
You're gonna be done by 7, right? 5 till 7?
You have control.
Remind me, stand up and say, so these people can see it.
Okay, got you.
Go Stros.
The most important game of the whole season.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
so far.
Well, correct. Good point. So far. So far, it's the most
Let's hope it's not the most important one.
Yes. Good point.
Yeah. Brent? Sure.
It's just a check I need signed. One check.
Good evening. It's 6 p.m. Straight up. October the 23rd. We do have a forum. Everybody is present. Hallelujah. We'll begin with an invocation. LB's going to do that. Brent's going to lead us in the pledge. Stand with us.
Let me bow our heads. Our Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for everything that you do for us, Lord. And Lord, we ask you to watch over the city of Cleveland, Lord God, taking our great minds to work together, Lord God. Lord, we ask you to guide us in every project that we do, Lord, and all businesses that come our way. We want to thank you for everything that you do in us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Pledge American flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, LB. Thank you. Okay, public comment. Anybody sign up for that? No? Nobody out there? Okay, it's good. Because we're going to try to make the Astros game. I would say Altuve's going to bat at 7:03, but it's not. We bats later. Rangers bat first. We can miss that. Okay. Reports and comments from board members. Start with Gertie last time. Start with you, Patrick.
Yeah.
No, we're going your way this time.
My way?
You ready?
Get my mic on, wasn't prepared. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Anyway, I want to say it's I'm well happy with Cleveland right now because we're having a lot of progress going on. There's a lot of businesses that are starting up, groundwork. If you look on your paperwork that was just given out, I noticed that there's one more, and that is the Tri-County healthcare, behavioral healthcare that are going in, and that's good. That's going to be a big plus for Cleveland, which in my opinion, if that's correct, I'm not speaking out of term on that, but there's a lot of businesses starting up in Washington Street. One problem that they're having is the detention ponds. That new gas station right there on Dallas, I believe, they had to go underground for their detention pond, but they're making it. And everything else is falling into place. One across the street from there, they're building, they're erecting. So Cleveland is progressively moving forward. It's probably a little slow, it's not making a lot of people happy in the community, but it's happening, whether we want to accept all the help on that or not, but it's coming along. Thank you.
Okay. Rachel?
All right, thank you. I do have some announcements as far as events that are going on in the community coming up. It's actually a very busy time of year, and I know families are typically looking for things to do to get involved and be out there, spending money and having a good time. So just as a heads up, first, thank you to the residents and businesses that call us home and the residents watching online. I know there are some groups that watch monthly online and share this information out. We do have tomorrow, the band is going off the state. You've probably seen that online. If not, lots of information on the school's website. There are several fall festivals and trunk or treats Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday through multiple organizations in the surrounding community. I think the last flyer count that I saw posted on the Precinct 6 Constables page in the chamber was something like 8 or 10 flyers. And then I got another one today when we were at the pumpkin patch that the First Methodist Church on Sunday is also doing one. There's so many free events to take your kids and families to. Find it online. If you can't find the flyer or don't know where to start, the Cleveland Chamber often has it posted, or go back a few days and look through all of the posts to see what's going on, the time and date and address and location. The city of Cleveland has the Treat Street on Halloween night. Thank you, by the way, because that's when we should celebrate. We have the Sleigh Bell Market in town on November 11th, which is offered at another local church with Liberty Church. You've got the Rock and Ride and some events for kids at the Rock and Ride on November 11th also. You have a Veterans Day celebration at the PWR Texan. Well, veterans will eat free with chili, and community members can come out and buy a bowl. You also have, again, Precinct 6 Constable's Office posted recently that they're now offering bike patrols because the weather has cooled off, and if you want your neighborhood with more presence and police presence and you want bike patrol, reach out to our constables at Harkness and arrange that with him. He's very accessible with his social media. And then also, as one last reminder, I'm trying to go quick since the Astros and all that, the city of Cleveland is hosting or honoring our first responders through our monthly chamber luncheon coming up the first Thursday of November, which is next week, I believe. And our first responders, I would invite the former City of Cleveland first responders who have served for us in the current and also our Liberty County to come out because their lunch is free. So make sure you RSVP for that and to come out and be celebrated and recognized for all first responders. I believe the date is November 2nd, but I'm not looking at my calendar, thank you, Nikki. So many things going on, many things posted online, lots of things to do, even more than that, but I'm short on time because someone else has to speak, but reach out online and lots of things going on for everybody. And again, thank you.
If anybody's confused about what's going on in Cleveland in the coming month or so, just ask Rachel. Because I can't compete with that.
That was like a half.
Compete with that?
I can't.
Let's hear it.
No, I just would like to talk about the EDC conference the other week that we went to. It was very helpful, a lot of information, a lot of good information about EDC, and also just the great networking that we got to do with some of the vendors, talk to different ones. We've heard great speakers talk about different EDC boards around, so it was a great opportunity, and thank you for that.
Darlene, you're up. You're back. You may go, Brent?
Yeah, I'll
go. Go ahead, Brent.
Just to echo a little bit about what Robert's saying, it's exciting right now. There's things that are actually coming and opening. One thing, I didn't want to point out, I know it's still under construction, everything, but BNSF is going to be a huge thing for the city. It's going to bring a lot of good additions to this area. So as that continues to build and grow, that's great for our city. And it's exciting to see things on the agenda tonight we can talk to. They're going to be continuing to move forward and get done. So glad y'all had a good time at EDC, and yes, those things do have a lot of information.
Just to reiterate on some of the things that Rachel said, and you mentioned the departure for the band. I'm not sure what type of event they're having.
They are leaving the campus and traveling down our main road here because they made it to state. So we're just out to honor them and celebrate them and hold up signs and cheer them on. I leave 9:20 a.m. so park before that, the Brookshire's parking lot and some of the other parking lots, so that we can just celebrate them and congratulate them for all their hard work making it to state.
And that's what I wanted to say, they wanted people to gather up, so I just didn't hear all that other information, but yeah, that is something good. And as far as the Tree Street, there is more candy that is needed, so if you could provide candy, take it and drop it off at the Civic Center. So we normally run out of candy early, so, but if you can provide additional candies, that would be great. And also pertaining to the conference, it was a great conference, it really, really was. And actually, all the vendors that we approached was stating the same thing, the exact same thing, marketing and advertisement. It's something that we don't have. So we definitely need that. The importance of the website. And it wasn't just mouth talk, it was presentations where they showed you different things as far as where Cleveland was, which you couldn't find it. The information, what I'm talking about. They put up all this information to show you the advantage and the benefit this would be for us. And also, just to touch on the BNSF, we did dine with some of the representatives there, and they too were just really just giving us all type of, I guess you could say, kudos or whatever. But yet and still, as a venture to other states and other cities, they always talk about Cleveland to let the other vendors know, hey, this is a new center that we got coming up, and this is going to be the place. So that is a good thing as far as advertising. But we need people to see this. So that website, that is definitely something that we really need to do. We really need that. And I think that's about it. Oh, yeah, one other event, I don't know if I heard this from Rachel, and this is an event on Wednesday, the Senior Health Expo. Did you mention that?
No, ma'am, I only did
Okay, so that is Wednesday at 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. The doors will open at 1:30. So anybody that you know in need of any information or any resources for seniors, please provide this information and share it with them. That's about it.
Now you're at that.
Ditto to what the others said, that the conference, the EDC conference, was simply awesome. We have been talking about marketing and websites, and trust me, everyone that was dealing with websites, along with others, we visited websites. And the sad part to me and to us, we couldn't pull up Cleveland. And when they pulled up Cleveland, it didn't tell anyone anything. Everything was local information. So hopefully we can discuss that more in detail tonight.
Why couldn't they pull up Cleveland? I can pull up Cleveland.
I mean, website.
Yeah.
I need
Just
to,
for information to a developer that wants to come
Right.
in. They didn't have to.
it wasn't there.
Mhm.
And
I mean,
we
we
tried
had
to
a
more
lot
than
of
one
it.
vendor.
It's there.
Well,
I don't know.
a lot of them were saying that the EDC should have had a separate website. They should have a hyperlink that's on the city website. So when you click it, it takes you to the EDC website. Because I mean, nothing wrong. We let people look at our website, and I asked the marketing guy, I said, okay, I want you to look at our website. Tell me what you think. Well, then he's like, well, I would immediately walk away because the website now is just standard. So that's something, if we're going to move forward as a group and make our EDC look good, we need to do the right steps that need to be taken in order for our website to look good, in order for us to be able to put ourselves out there for different businesses to come.
Well, it comes at a good time. We're going to rebuild our website. So,
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
okay. That's it.
That's it.
For now, yes.
All right. Okay, I'll just, I'm not going to cover any. They all knocked it out of the park. Might as well just shut up. Except for BNSF is really, really good thing for Cleveland. It's gonna be a lot of opportunities for a lot of people around here. It's gonna stir up some dollars. It faces 105, but it backs a lot of people's homes and property that never wish that ever happened to them. I've already met with a couple of them, and they're angry. So be prepared. You city staff, there's a room full of us here now, and the EDC members, if you run across somebody like that that's not happy, kind of help them. Try to talk to them about the benefit of it, because they don't see any benefit whenever it crowds the property. Are you one of them?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I've already met with them.
Yeah, so, you know, it's never a good thing for the front person to have to look at that, but anyway, sorry. That's all I have. Everything else is running good, I think. I like to see all the growth, especially this stuff on Washington Street. I've been here all my life, and I've seen that land and those old buildings across from Jack and Bob's and next to the old Dodge dealer, just lay there for all my life. Nothing happened. It's good to see something being planted there. Okay, Robert, run with it. What you got?
I want to join in with all the board members on their comments, good comments, and those that attended the TEDC conference. That was a good one. It's one of the better ones that we've had in a while. A lot of good information, and we'll discuss some of that tonight. Talk about BNSF. They took us to dinner one night and shared a lot of good information with the board members that were there of what they could share. We gave them a little insight of what's going on. And with Patrick about the detention that's going on the Story corner of Dallas and Washington, you know, that is TxDOT required, that because it dumps into TxDOT drains, and Denny's is placing that. So Denny's is having to work with TxDOT again, see what they can do. So I don't know what will come there, but it's going to hinder that project. So. But I don't have anything to comment. I mean, y'all got any comments or questions?
What type of, I heard you say drainage, so what
Yes,
is
ma'am.
actually the situation?
See, the drainage, they're requiring you to do underground detention.
Mm-hmm.
And then cause that being Washington, being TxDOT Street,
Right.
and over on the feeder 59, that being TxDOT. They're requiring you to do that underground detention to dump into their drains. So they're having to spend extra funds and money on the project than what they thought they were going to do.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So it's nothing that the city can do to
Well,
accommodate?
No, no, no ma'am.
I was gonna say, I did talk to TxDOT last weekend, again this morning, about the project, and it's not that they don't require underground drainage or detention. They just require zero impact onto their right of way. And so, for like Denny had submitted their plans with underground detention originally, and that had gotten approved by TxDOT for that. Now the prices come in higher, and now they're looking at other options, and TxDOT is willing to meet, TxDOT's willing to work with them on how they do it, but that's Denny's engineers that are responsible for coming up with the zero impact on a TxDOT. But they're willing to do and look at whatever plans necessary to make that happen. They just have to have zero impact, which, especially like on Washington, you already have an impact already there. We don't want it to be any worse than the flooding that we have there now. So the zero impact is important. Same thing with the Denny's. We already have some water issues and drainage issues over there. And so we don't want that to be any worse than it already is. So the zero impact, but that's their requirement, is no impact to their right of way, but they don't require any specific method for doing that. That's up to the developer's engineers to create and to determine how that zero impact is going to be. But they're willing to talk to them about, hey, can we meet and maybe discuss, maybe come up with something, think outside the box or some kind of solution. TxDOT's willing to do that, so you know, we're trying to do whatever we can to resolve those issues, because that is very costly.
Okay.
It might kill that deal, that project.
But the city, we've done everything that they're well aware that we're trying to do whatever we need to do to help them. We've got in touch with our engineer, we're putting everything in their hands, whatever they need out of the city and us, we're there, they know that.
And that was my point, just to make sure that the city is doing everything they can on their side, so that the citizens would know that it's nothing that we're doing that's hindering this
We're
development.
trying to do everything we can to help
That's
out.
great, thank you very much.
Why is Holiday Inn Express allowed an open ditch in the front? So is Waterbury.
Things, it changed since the Holiday Inn.
I think they have that property to the north of them. They drain their hard surface water to that lot.
But they have the option, I'm sure, to do above site detention if they have space, as long as it's zero.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't think we have the space to do it above ground detention.
That's what I'm saying, I've driven it, I've looked at it, they've got the same space the Holiday Inn's got. They got a much larger building than what Denny's is gonna be. And you go down to Whataburger, they're about the same size. They were allowed just an open ditch up front. But like if he said, their engineers put it in underground, and they're saying, okay, but then now the cost is telling them. So we ought to go to bat and see if we can't get it the same as Holiday Inn and Whataburger, if you want Denny's here.
And we've got our city engineer looking at it to kind of work with them as well. But again, it is Denny's, it is their responsibility, it's their engineers. But we are working with TxDOT, we've got our engineer trying to coordinate and help out as well as much as possible. So, and we are looking at some of those other projects that are signed, trying to figure out how they were able to manage it, to try to convince TxDOT to help out as well.
Who is our city engineer?
Law engineer.
Oh. Okay. Robert, you done? Okay, we'll move on to consent agenda, 5, 6, and 7. Meeting minutes from September, monthly expenses, and monthly financial statement. Anne's not here to answer any questions with that, but does anybody, hardly ever have any issue with the expenses in the monthly statement? About the meetings, minutes from last month, other than misspelled words?
I didn't discover anything.
Did? I misspelled my name.
Not that time.
It's okay. All right, is there a motion to approve these three?
I make a motion, we approve
Consent.
the consent agenda 5, 6, and 7.
Second.
And there's a second. Okay, is there any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There's none. We move on to number 8, EDC website. Robert has an update for us. We wanted to sing it though. Right?
You know, last month I talked about we need to put more pictures on the website we have and to contact Scott Jones' son, Brandon, which I did. Brandon moved to Waco, took a position out there, so he's not living in Cleveland anymore. So he couldn't do it, but I did contact another young lady that does photographs, and that being Lonnie Franklin. Her and I spend a little time together and rode around. I was telling her what we're kind of doing, and she took some photographs, which the copies y'all have, that's all cut and pasted off of, an email. So, I mean, that's really doesn't do justification there. But I'm going to set that to the side because we're going to move on to some other things. Also, Miss Gerlene, I know Tough Kids. Miss Gerlene Davis asked me to contact Jeff Perry. He was building a website for Tough Kids. I did. I met with him a couple times, talked to him a couple times, looked at his webpage, put a little information there about what he does, and 2 or 3 copies of what other web pages that he's done through Rickety County, a drug screening program, alcohol, that's his. But looking at those, I mean, they're web pages. But after going to the TEDC conference, yeah, that, I mean, y'all have, and we met with, like everyone said, we met with a lot of people there. And I think every one of us met with these people, and I put their information, say emails and stuff, from Heath and Linda. They're out of Georgia. A lot of great information of what they can do and what they do. One of the questions I think, and I know y'all ask a question, Darren asks a question, right? What do y'all do? They about building web pages. They build web pages. What do you need out of us? They said, we build it for you. We pull all your demographics. We keep up with your demographics. We do everything for you on building these web pages. And on page 39 of all this information is what the cost is from them. And for example, you're looking at $24,500 to build what they would do. And then it's going to be an annual, I call it an annual maintenance fee of $10,450 per year. But they keep up and make all changes of everything out there. Anyway, but there's some stuff to discuss and talk about, web pages and what y'all would like to do, like moving forward. Civic Plus is what the city uses, and we do, that is a piggyback from the city web page and what we do there. I mean, if y'all want to continue on, have photos put in there, information put on the cities, or y'all want to talk about something different.
Let me ask a question. What was our budget for marketing for the website?
Well, we have $80,000 in market right now.
Okay, so, and I think it's just a no-brainer. We just need to go ahead and develop our own website and move forward, stop talking about it.
Can I ask you a question real quick, Robert, as we discuss this? Can we get this displayed as an actual website? Because all this information, I looked through the packet of the pictures, but they're displaying how it looks when you actually go to it. Is there a way we can bring up some of these examples to actually view online to compare what we're looking at?
You probably can go to their website and do that.
I know, I'm saying in the meeting.
Yeah, this doesn't do any justice for me either.
Right.
But we got basically the picture and the information at the conference. But you should be able to go in and find that, or just call them and they'll probably send it to you. But yeah, this paper is just a waste of paper to me.
As we discuss or make decisions of maybe who we want to move forward with, or like I do think we should be watching it on the screen during the meeting and seeing and comparing and.
You'll have to go up through if you're on a buy board, you'll have to go up through a proposal or an RFQ or bid process for that.
Right.
And then have a committee and do an evaluation. And there's a whole procurement process.
I understand all that. I'm just saying, because we were presented with paper printouts of the websites, and I was just asking if during these discussions we can get them on the screen. That's my only question or request, is that we actually can see the website and the layout via the screen, so that also community members can see it, because your layout does matter.
You know, this would be an example of layout they've already done.
Right, exactly. It won't be the city itself. It'll be other cities. Like, we can do something like this, like whenever we pulled up the examples, I forget the city that you suggested. But specific to the companies we are discussing or comparing, if we could bring them up specifically.
But I think, one thing I want to mention here is, regardless if it's this company, I'm hoping we're all in agreement that this is exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, that we are, somebody that's doing it from conception to completion, that's gonna have a hand in the maintenance and the keeping it updated on it. Because we're just not, one thing that you can look at, I promise you go to these websites, and we went to some of them, I bet you they don't look, they're professional, they have the data you need, and if I'm really hearing you right, and this is way last year too, this is what people are looking for.
Is it up to us to decide, is it up to this board to decide what goes in it? Because I'm gonna tell you something, I'm not the guy for that. Because what looks good to me may not look good to the next 20 people. I'm old school. I mean, you know what I mean? Anything looks good to me except for the dilapidated barn in the background. That kind of stuff is,
Here's one,
That's
but,
why they agreed to.
I mean, you can't really click on anything. It just says
yeah,
contact
so,
us.
I mean, we can look at their stuff and say, hey, they did a good job at that place, and that place, and that place. Here's the pictures of our stuff, and you're gonna dig up their demographics. Put something together for us to look at, and I'm not sure if, I'm not afraid to say, yeah, I like that, let's go with that. But I'm not sure if that's what's best for the city, because I like it, or maybe, I don't want to offend you guys and say, it may be over our head, but I It's over mine, because anything looks good to me. I'm easy to please, and that's not good.
No, it's not. But one of the things that we were speaking of in our last meeting, remember when someone, I don't know which one, member said that Cleveland is the hub of a lot of things. Okay, it was you. There were 2 vendors that, because Navasota, and I saw Navasota and was like, wow, because I knew Navasota before, and then after, and I look at Navasota as being a city closer to Bennett. Navasota is different from Cleveland now, than what it used to be, what Cleveland is now, but the way they did it, they showed how it's a hub, and it goes here, and okay. We were talking about Lake Livingston. We are a hub to water sports, campgrounds, parking grounds. We need to show that. And on the website, they have the map showing, say, Lake Livingston. Okay, the different routes, how to get there, to Livingston, just different areas, and it was very interesting, something that we need. There was things that highlighted new construction. We talked about that. The different subdivisions that we have. Highlight those. Pictures, homes from A to Z in the center. Businesses, industries that we have going on in our city. Our medical facilities. We have greater medical facilities now than we've ever had. I've been here since 1982. And the schools, our roadways.
Yeah.
There just are a lot of things, the park, the recreation here, and we're in proximity to recreation within less than 50 miles of us. Show that, show our hotels, our lodging facilities.
So we're not like things to show, we have a lot of things.
We have a lot of things to show.
I'd like to go back to Marilyn's question. What was your question at the beginning when you said, well, let's move on and on this website here? Which packet were you looking at? Because I didn't catch that.
The 365, what he was looking at, that put in the package?
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that's a good package there.
Yeah, we basically.
I think it's worth the money.
Yeah.
And I really truly believe that they can push us up forward
Yeah.
into the future and get us out of this hick town, I guess, attitude that we have. And I hate to call it like that, but that's how a lot of them see it. I talked to people in Conroe and they said, y'all still back in the sticks over there, and I agree with them, but I'd rather spend this money here for a good website and something that we don't have to do the legwork on. And we have to go take pictures and do all this, the file. They'll do that for us.
Right.
And that's the part that I like.
Everything.
And if we're going to spend the money, let's do it right.
Yes.
That's how I look at it.
Well, because of the dollar amount, we gotta get bids, so that's just one company, so we're gonna have to find 2 more.
There's no
Are they
have-
on a cooperative, Robert? Do you know if they were on a cooperative or a buy board or whatever?
Yeah, I have to go off Bible and support them, yeah.
And I take it that we know these people. They were at the convention. this
Yes,
week.
these are people that we want you.
If they're approved, I would say let's lean toward them, but let's do the 2 more bids, I guess.
I asked a question on this one, this specific. Vicki, will you bring it back up? This is the comment that I was making about as far as you want to look at them. That website right now is hard to read because of the white text. I'm not necessarily looking at just the content of what does it say about city, what are the correct photos that show a growing community. I'm talking about the navigation of the site when you have people of all ages that need to be able to read. That bright green is kind of glaring. The white makes it a bit difficult to read. You would also need to check these websites to see if they're mobile friendly, because 90% of your people are going to go to that website on their mobile and not on a computer. And and it doesn't always match the same. Even in Facebook, your picture and your picture up here doesn't have the same dimensions as on your phone. Those are the things you want to look for, because those are the details that matter, especially when attracting business. So whenever we go through these or get bids, we need to look at some things. Now, if they have a general format that we like, and we can have them change text, color, font, things like that.
Sure, that'll all be in our control.
Yeah.
Right, so things, as long as they're not building off of templates and things, or they have a variety of templates, however they use it. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, to me, some of those colors are a little too bright, and I'm all about color. I'm not against color in websites because that makes it engaging. But the white text also, and the mobile-friendly stuff, those, and when you click through the links, like how many times you have to click to get to information, like how many steps or web pages you have to click through. Do they have a search feature? Do they automatically post to social
Well, I
media?
think, let's save that
Okay.
when we interview a contractor.
Perfect, but those are the questions I'm asking about, why we pull them up and talk about it with them, or if they're going to come in and present, or how they're going to bid or not bid. But those are the things we should look for. But I agree in spending the money to make it nice and professional, but also make sure that it's mobile friendly too.
Yeah, I think we all definitely agree with that. I think that would be part of the process once you got down there, just talking about it, we could come together.
And they could put together a webpage and we could change the color of some of that stuff.
Right, yes.
But I think we're all in it, we're talking about custom web pages. We're not talking about building off a template that, a lot of other.
And that particular question was asked. We did ask a lot of questions, and when we asked a question, they just didn't answer it. They scrolled through, navigated through, and showed it to us. So some of those questions were asked.
And they're very easy to navigate, because I stood there while Marilyn and Darren was talking, this is easy, I click on this, I go to you. You didn't have to click 4 or 5 things to get to whatever you were looking for. You know, it was click, it was awesome, I loved it. And there were 3 I know that I played with different websites. I chose the website that I wanted to look at. Towns that I felt I knew was like our area, clicked on it, was easy. Just click, you know, okay, I want to find what this is, click, boom, there it is. And that was one of the complaints, not a complaint, but a remark, because when we clicked on the city and to get to EDC, they had to scroll down. But if you are a developer or whomever business person wanted to come here, first of all, they click on the city, they say, well, maybe it's there. But you got to scroll down to get to it and go through a lot of things. This is no, and like Darren said, they said, look at it, like, nope, don't have time, click off it. And another vendor, I said, okay, look at our website. So we went to Cleveland, went down, he says, no. He says, you're not going to get any prospects from there, because when they look, they want to see Cleveland, EDC, and the demo, everything should be right there. They shouldn't have to go through all of this to get to here, because they had to go through the members on the board, the different departments. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for what we have to offer them in order for them to come to us. And it wasn't there.
So I think whenever we choose, well, when Robert finds at least 2 more, that will satisfy our need, and we make a decision with one of them, and then we'll make sure they do the webpage like we want.
No problem.
Greg, you have something?
I just wanted to ask Scott, the rules have changed on the amount of money. Used to, anything over 10,000. And I know it's 50,000, you have to get competitive bids. Over 25, what is the rule?
Over 25, you have to have 3
Quotes.
3 quotes.
Not necessarily competitive bids.
No, but they've got to be comparable. But I mean, that's,
Well, something like this is easy. When you start talking about an automobile,
Right.
you start specifying models and plates and things.
Right.
But this is just a simple quote from competition.
Right. So, I guess the action on this would be to direct Robert to find 2 more.
Get 3, well, you can get 3 or 4, but contact 2, see what's on the buy board too.
Well, later on in this meeting, we're going to talk about our November and December meeting, so it may be that by the time we meet again, you'll might be able to pull the trigger on one. pretty
Yeah,
quick.
I think we need to do this real fast so we can be in place by next year.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, you're gonna keep talking about it, and it's not gonna get done. So maybe tomorrow, get those 2 websites. Tomorrow,
9 a.m. I get through with everything.
9 o'clock in the morning.
That I got on my books for tomorrow, yeah.
Well, in between your breaks.
I mean,
Between your
yeah.
breaks. Yeah, I don't think it would be that difficult, but.
I mean, a good idea is maybe get 2 or 3.
And I share.
Did you get the, do you
We
have
share
contact,
more information.
you have contact for Insightful?
That's not a website, was like the videos.
That's like.
Right,
right.
Yeah, we want that.
Yeah, that was video.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the other one, oh, I didn't have time.
Blue Dot, was it Blue Dot?
Blue Dot.
Blue Dot, I talked to Blue Dot when I went last year, they were very impressive.
Blue
Yeah.
Dot, so that's the one, that's to keep you from, to take up,
We'll
the
take
heavy
care of it
eye.
right now.
And the day that you don't have, I have.
Okay, Blue Dot is another one. And also, Robert, I'm not sure who all were at the convention as far as vendors, but if we just find those websites, like Navasota where you mentioned, or one of the,
Well,
whatever it was that Brent mentioned before, that's our
right.
favorite. If you just scroll to the bottom of their
You
webpage,
see who does that.
typically it's right there. We just find some that we like and scroll to the bottom and contact those companies and say, what can you do for Cleveland? Give us a quote.
Typically, when somebody gets up and takes the podium, they're either gonna quit, choose somebody out, pray, or sing. What are you doing over there?
Hopefully it's not saying.
Please don't sing.
I'm fixing to say.
No? Okay. Well, I believe. No, go ahead. What do you know?
Golden,
Stand over here.
golden
So action on
shovel.
this, action on number 8 is to,
Yeah, we just move on, start working, just keep working on. Now that we know we got people out here like this that does these, and that's what y'all wanna do,
Okay.
okay.
we'll move on working towards
So
that.
you want to go ahead and get those 2 votes. That's all we need you to do. Just go ahead and get those 2 websites,
Hey,
and
Clark,
get add to
anymore.
this and move forward.
In the morning,
We'll get to 8:30. So, all right, move on. Number 9, discuss the change in the dates for EDC meetings for November and December this year. We know Christmas falls on.
Yeah, y'all look at your calendars, we need to see what we'll do.
A lot of us are gonna be out of town on that Thanksgiving
You know,
month.
the 27th, I mean, Thanksgiving, you know, I don't know if everybody be back for November the 27th after Thanksgiving. Some will still be out of town. I mean, if we want to move that, we can move that to the,
23rd.
So what can we do to the 13th?
I think you mentioned
Oh,
27.
27th.
yeah, 27th, we can, yeah. I mean, I'll be available for them.
I'll be available too, the 27th.
We'll do the 27th?
I mean,
Just, okay, November, just keep it the 27th for, okay? All right, December, that's really gonna be the,
I would skip December and do it in January.
and I know we've done that before.
We have done that in the past.
Yeah, we've had Novembers and then skipped December before.
We won't have to exchange presents.
We'll have to do that in November. So if y'all bringing me something, you can bring it in November.
Patrick, you can bring mine to my house.
Is anybody, is the month of January is appointments for this board? Is anybody voting on?
It's typically in December when they appoint for the next year.
Yeah. Do they?
Yep.
City council meeting,
Correct.
so that meeting is December the 18th? I mean,
19th.
2, 3, 19.
That council will be December the 19th.
Robert, I was gonna offer a suggestion, which, if we're looking at moving forward with the website that soon, if they come or if you need information, you might need a December meeting if there's anything that needs to be finalized or approved for the website, right, to get it up and going. So it might be good to pick a potential December date, right? Unless it all is one and done on the 27th of November, when presented with information.
Yeah,
I was gonna say same thing. If we get information, we can pull for a special call council meeting, I mean EDC meeting in the afternoon to discuss that one item.
Okay. And
Like
we want
simple.
to, okay, I understand, I just didn't know if, even if it was special call, not the traditional date, if we wanted to throw out an idea of a potential date, that if there was a special called meeting, it might be on this date just because December is busy, or if that's just going to be.
I mean, I know there's gonna be some leaving then that week. I think Nikki, you be gone that week, huh? Maybe. I mean, getting around Christmas, getting pretty tough.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Or maybe you may want to have a committee or something, like a subcommittee that might be able to review 2 or 3 or 4 of
You
these
can always.
proposals and have them make presentations to
Call
kind
it
of
special
help
call.
you narrow it down, and then have that committee bring a recommendation back to the board.
Well, depending on the outcome of the.
Information.
Yeah. We can meet and choose someone maybe, or meet with him about who to choose, or if we've already chosen someone in November, then they may have something for us to show us on the screen in December. And if so, since we're in a hurry, we can always come to a meeting and do it.
May I ask you a question, Director Scott? How expensive is it to get a Zoom address for city and EDC?
Hey, Zoom.
Zoom.
We
So
got it.
instead of coming up here, if you're at the, we have one?
We got Zoom.
You just get a number.
Yeah.
Well,
You just
yeah.
said-
I know.
Yeah, Zoom, we use Zoom and Teams.
I just threw out the price just in case there was, because that would be beneficial. I mean, even if you're in Timbuktu, I was gonna use another name. We can still do it, you know, I've done it at the doctor's office, or whatever, and it's just gonna be just a few minutes, and it'll be so convenient.
We use Zoom and Teams.
Not here. You have a vice president. It's not
Yeah.
here. It's fine. You got one, that's two, that's all you need.
That's all I need.
How long you got it for?
Hey, I don't have much on my schedule in December, but that doesn't mean
You're
we
good.
have to meet.
I'm good for December. It just, I know December the 25th, that Monday.
What he's saying, a lot, in the history of the EDC, a lot of times we'll only meet in December. But if we feel like we need to, then we'll get some emails and call a special call meeting, whether it's Zoom or.
Yeah, that's what I say,
Knock
Zoom
it out.
would be convenient, you wouldn't have to change anything, really.
Well, we're talking about having some of this information for November anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah,
don't
so
have
we're
this,
starting on that 8:30.
we don't have this for the next meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
Right. Brett
So you
said
watch
master
that.
plan.
I think we can
Decide
decide
November,
November if
we
we
can
can do anything in December.
Yeah. How about that?
No problem.
All right, Robert. So that's number 9. Number 10, TEDC sales tax Houston, November 17th. I can tell you right now, Tech Stop gets 6 cents, City gets 2, we get a quarter. That's how the sales tax goes.
well, I just wanted to say who would like to attend that. We talked about it, you know, when we talked about it before we went to the annual conference, but it's a one day. and so-
4 hours. 4 hours only.
Ma'am?
4 hours, 4 and 4.
You want to, anybody, is that double tree over by Hobby
If
Airport?
they didn't have an airport, somebody can drive.
But as long as you go and bring us the information now.
I'm going, I mean,
You're going anyway, right? Are you going?
yeah,
We don't go?
probably, and, you know,
I've
I
gone
think,
before,
ma'am,
but I've gone before.
yeah, I have too. I've went for the last 2 years or 3.
But you can bring us the
It's gonna be,
information.
yeah, but I think it's good for, you know, Pam, you know, for her to go. Pam
Pam?
Harris, so.
Yeah.
Zoom, okay, nobody wants to go?
Do we have to decide today? Can we just email you? Can we look at like their little session names or the breakouts and email you and get to you later? Does it have to be decided tonight?
No, because we need to go ahead and get booked, I mean, I don't know. cutoff date is on this,
Yeah, we're not booking rooms though, we just,
No.
yeah.
there's no room,
And this is not gonna be
this is
able
for
to,
one day.
it's not good,
Uh-uh.
that's not good.
So you've never attended one of these? You have?
Yes,
They're in it, you?
several times.
No,
Okay, I have once, so.
I should, yeah.
So if you wanna go,
Yeah, Robert, I'll go with you. And whoever else is, or is not going.
Patrick?
as long as we have a shelter, we can all go.
Who's going to?
Patrick sounds real excited about going.
Nobody else is going, just Rachel?
I'm going.
Yeah.
And I'd like for Pam Harrison to go.
That's on a Friday.
Marilyn, you're not going? You're on the phone.
I'll go.
The 10th, I know I'll be gone, but the 17th, I think I'm available. Let me let you know tomorrow. The day after.
If it was any other day than Friday, I would say, yeah, but I check out of town while I'm down before Friday. My wife and I has not updated.
Okay.
I'll-
Y'all let me know by tomorrow, so you can get it. How's that?
Who in the world would schedule something like that on Friday?
Yeah.
Friday before
In Houston? Yeah, before Thanksgiving. Am I crazy or what?
But Rachel, I've got you down.
I'm going to double confirm my schedule, but yes, tentatively, unless I tell you no tomorrow.
And that's what everybody said, so it's
Yeah.
just.
And it's at the Doubletree Hotel
Hobby.
in, Humble?
Hobby.
Oh, Hobby.
Hobby.
See, that's what I call,
Oh, you know how bad the traffic is.
I read
Oh, Friday night?
At that time of the day. Holy cow.
Traffic is that way.
On Friday at 4 o'clock?
And it's,
I've been to. We
Might as well get a room.
Meet me there for I'll fly over there.
Cancel it. Don't spend the money. We just got back from the conference. Cancel it.
yeah, but it's information you need, I mean, if you want, if they want to know about it, I think information is a treasure, it's a reward.
It is.
It's, you know, especially if, like Rachel said, she would like to know.
Let me know tomorrow.
Just don't rule it out.
Okay, all right. Number, so you want to, you let him know tomorrow, huh, Rachel?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right, number 11, Austin Bank donation. Tell us about that, Robert.
Okay, I got a call and an email from Austin Bank. They would like to make a donation to the Economic Development Board for $1,000 to be used in small businesses. Just keep them updated on how we use it and who we give it to. So, and if y'all, I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't approve taking it, but Nikki will sign off on that, and I'll email that back to her. And then we'll figure out, try to decide how we can use this funds in small businesses. Break it up.
And that was another topic that they touched on at the conference, was business retention. And we've been talking about what we can do all along, so that shouldn't be difficult.
Right. And Nikki, I want you'll sign off on that and do it, so.
All right.
And I'll email that back tomorrow.
All right, so that's action on that one. Number 12, site removal for pavilion. We have been overruled.
We did
Wow.
what? Overruled.
Okay,
Why? My question is why?
And why?
okay. The pavilion at council the other night, it was, Bob Barley was selected as contractor to build it, but the site wasn't approved.
Why?
Because they quit using that area as the food truck. So that area is not really being used as much. Now they're going to Campbell Park.
Okay,
And
they
so
quit using
that
it?
being Ashley, CBB. And so
Okay.
they're focusing over there more. And so there's not much going to be going over to the,
Okay, let me say something to that.
Me too.
We're not building this for they. We are building this for the people. And one thing you have to realize as the board come together and say, hey, we want to do something for the people, sort of make a change for our downtown area, that's what we need to do. One thing we have to realize, the money that the city is caring for or whatever, this is not the city's money. This is the people's money. So no, it's not going to be utilized if nothing is there to use. So even if you decide to have an event downtown, that would be a location. I never forget that gazebo they had across the street from First Bank and Trust. That was the most beautiful little area. At one point in time, I used to see people gather there having weddings and doing different, taking pictures. So if we don't begin to start changing the image of our city, we're going to keep this bad stigma on our city. We have to start making changes. And regardless of what kind of change you do, some people will always find something negative to say about it, like the murals. They're clean, they look nice, some people don't like them, but yet and still, the people see. The people need to see things that we're doing. And I have to say we, whether it's the city and the economic development, we have to continue to work together and make these changes. Now, as far as Campbell Park is a very small park, and I don't know why everybody keep wanting to put all these things in Campbell Park. It's not that big. It is not that big.
And it's detached.
Yeah, you can't do
It's
that.
off the beaten path.
Yeah,
So is the airport. So, if I was going to build a pavilion for income, the last place I'd put it would be at the airport and Campbell Park or any other park. I would put it down there where the hustle and bustle is. And that's a perfect spot.
Yes.
I mean, I could find a better spot for it, but we don't own a better spot. The city doesn't own a better spot, and that's available. I wish they wouldn't have went that way, because if it's at Campbell Park or the airport, I may never even sit under it. I may never go there. I don't go there.
Yeah.
I used to go to Campbell Park when they had a pool, but when I was on council, we backfilled the pool, so I didn't go there anymore. And food trucks, how much business can they get over there? They're on the beaten path. They got to be failing. They have to fail. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe they thrive. But there was an awful big, that's a slider they threw us when they took that spot away from us. City council members.
I don't understand that.
That's an invitation for the council person, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
I want to let you know, next time I had a city council meeting and I have a question, can I give them a call and let me talk?
Yes, you can.
You're allowed to.
That's a new law, right?
Yes.
Under law.
Yes.
Outside of public comment?
All I want to tell you, Nikki, is I was on the council and it came up and we voted on it. And we voted on it in fact that that place has no restrooms, so there is no parking. You could put a pavilion there. But yet, when you do something on the third Thursday of 10 months, because they moved it to the other park where there's with the restroom. What's the name of the park? Campbell. No, not Campbell Park.
No, you're talking about.
Stansel Park. That's where they had it for the last 2 months. So we were gonna only use it one day out of the month. Think of other people. You talking about the people? How many people will go down and use that pavilion on a Saturday or Sunday? You're not gonna see people go downtown for a reunion or a wedding or thing. Now that thing you talked about, we used to have downtown the city, that was a beautiful situation. I've attended many of Easterized Sunday mornings, but it was torn down. It's a different type of pavilion. But back to the council. They were saying, well, let's table it. I said, no. We have got the right as a council to approve the EDC to spend the money to build a pavilion. Now, we would like to ask EDC to think of another place. That's the way it was in. Not that it had to be those two places. It was just recommended that we could do it at the airport or we could do it, I'd say any park. Find a better place. I'm okay with that. I will back you on doing a pavilion. But in my opinion, I just think that's a bad spot. So just bear in mind now, City Council did not counsel this project.
No.
I think it's a perfect spot. I think it's a perfect spot. And why in the world would you even think about putting it at the airport? People don't even know what an airport is.
I can tell you.
Beg your pardon?
I can tell you.
You You what?
I said, I can tell you on the airport.
What, tell me?
Where the airport is?
Yeah.
I'm the chairman of the airport.
Chair.
Yeah, and a pilot. And, there you go. And a pilot, obviously, I spend a lot of time at the airport. What we're going towards at the airport is more of just what you were talking about in the future. Right now, you can't click on our website and go from our website to EDC, our website to the airport, our website to the parks, our website. You need to be able to do that on all websites if you want to move forward. That's the way websites need to work these days. Same thing with the airport. The airport's not being utilized to help grow this city. There should be a lot of other events at the airport. We talked about car shows. That's something actually that's car shows specifically. Car shows, air shows, different kinds of events at the airport that you can utilize that airport for, the space and everything else. The people have been requesting an observation area to be able to go watch planes. We've been working on this now for a few months. Everything gets kicked down the road, it seems like. But our first idea on the observation area was right off 787 on the corner of the property. We looked at that. We thought we had that worked out pretty good. And the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, squashed it because that area is in a runway protection zone. He may have the pictures on it. I can even show you. They squashed that. They suggested that we put it, I don't know if anybody's been out to the airport, but where our FBO is, our terminal area. So our original location, if we just put that, where his hand is up there, that's where our original location was going to be. That trapezoid highlighted area there, that's called the runway protection zone. So the FAA don't want anything in that area because if something goes wrong with an airplane, you have a problem. More than likely, that's where it's going to be an accident, in other words. So we squashed that area. Do you have the other picture by chance? Still up there? So what the FAA and us were looking at also, and I know it's a little bit hard to see there, but to the right of the screen is the FBO, that's our building. Behind that, obviously, is the backyard, what I would call the backyard of the building. All the way to the left of it is the runway. That's where everything happens at that airport. Those white markers up there are called the 1,000-foot markers. That's where everything happens. That's where the landings are. That's obviously the best place to go look at airplanes. The green shaded area there is the area that we had already been discussing. And this is just all coincidence. We'd already been discussing putting the observation area there, doing a concrete slab sidewalk. That red line is what the FAA, this is the Federal Aviation Administration is going. But that's where that red line is where the FAA was suggesting a 4-foot fence. But so an area to have an observation area. So then when this came up, and Scott and I have actually talked about this in the past on having something out there that we could utilize for more than just an observation area. Not to take that away from everybody. I know that a lot of citizens go out to the airport to watch planes. Desiree brings her kids out there to watch planes quite often. Not to take that away, but we thought that could be something that we could utilize for a lot more than just an observation area to watch planes take off and land and all the stuff that goes on out there. Again, we could use it for just a number of things. We've been talking about car shows. We've been talking about some different kinds of events to start having out there to publicize, to market this airport in a different way. Our airport for the city of Cleveland, compared to other general aviation airports, and I fly a lot. I've flown 300 hours in the last 12 months. I fly a lot. Of course, my airplane's out there. Our airport is far better. And it's not because I live here, I promise you. I go to a lot of airports. And our airport is just far better than any airport you're going to go to. Our hangars, we have... Oh, yeah. So this is that pavilion. Go back one page. That pavilion is actually located at Lufkin. And it's the same scenario. They use that for their observation area, and then they also use it for whatever else they want to use it for, weddings or just whatever else comes up. They have different shows out there at Lufkin also. They have air shows, car shows,
It's a great place to announce events from, for sure. And they actually have 2 of these at Lufkin Airport. But our airport, we have 87 hangars. Most airports anywhere around don't have anything like that. We have a waiting list of 100 people on it for hangars right now. They're just waiting for hangars. And that being said, we just have a lot going on out there. If we market it correctly, it's going to, I think we can capitalize on that and help the city grow by using the airport. We have jets that come in there quite often, all the time.
John, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to stay on course here.
Yep.
I think I'm for building a pavilion for the airport with EDC money. We have plenty of it. But let's get back on topic of where we're going to put it at.
We go back to that page where the green.
We could put one there, but I don't want to lose track of
So-
putting one in town somewhere.
That's right.
No, I agree with that.
And I'm for all that you're talking about, because I visited the airport in Conroe, and it's a great area where they have, where people can go in and see the planes. And I don't have any objections to that, just as a president.
Well, I think the only reason was because since they squashed the location was where were we going to put it? And so that is the only reason, looking at locations. And I agree, I totally agree.
We squashed that location.
The location that y'all,
It didn't get squashed. It's simply, we simply approved the cost, Bob Bartlett to do it, and put it, and it's set in the agenda downtown. But and Nikki just said something that I didn't say. We got enough money if we want to build another one or help.
Oh, absolutely.
We could build 15 of them. I mean, I wouldn't do that,
Okay.
but we have the money to do it.
Question. Hey, I'm not to cut you off. But, okay, with this pavilion, look how we were talking about before. The idea of this pavilion being in town is, for instance, say you're traveling through Cleveland, and you've been traveling for 4 hours, 6 hours, and you've been on the road, and you want to take a break, and you want to maybe eat some lunch, or just somewhere just to sit, relax for a minute. You know, the pavilion, I mean, I'm not just saying it for traveling purposes, but it was for it being in town to have a nice area just to relax. And I'm not taking anything from the airport.
oh, no.
But I'm just saying, are you going to drive through Cleveland, go all the way to the airport to sit and rest and then get back on the road if the airport is out of your way? And I'm not, again, I'm not taking away from the airport. But like I said, we do have a budget if we want to build another.
I would like to stay focused on building a pavilion in one of these places.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the location, doesn't matter. But I would like to build one there too,
Well,
for sure.
Yes.
and let me comment on that. You talk about building something really nice. You know, we could really build a better and more nicer pavilion for that area.
Yeah,
And
like
do
the one we just saw.
something a lot more than this metal pavilion.
Yeah.
That would fit the airport a little bit better than what this, and then look and let's budget, work on build and look at what went on other designs. I mean, there was one before. I mean, it was like, almost $100,000, maybe not that size, but something really, really nice for downtown. And that was a problem with, our downtown food truck is the restrooms, having to move picnic tables. I mean, it was a big issue there. So, but maybe, we've already got council to approve this. Let's utilize, build somewhere. I've been to Lufkin Airport. I've been to other airports, as well myself. They have these nice pavilions. Back when I was on the chamber board, we had a couple car shows there.
Yeah.
I mean, we brought people out there to the airport. So, I don't want to take away from the airport either. I want to, because our airport's growing faster, about as fast as our city. With that
need a pavilion.
I mean, we have a big Learjet come out there one day, and this guy flies in and out of Conroe quite often, and he said, man, y'all get jet fuel out here, we'll fly out here more. But it was a big jet. But
Not jet. Not jet. That's not
So-
right.
No, we don't have a jet.
not jet.
That's all. No, we don't have a jet.
Back to, but we don't want to be part of
We don't want to get started on that.
We ain't been out there.
Let's go there, but.
Okay, back to
Back to the track.
back to the original question that started. somebody made mention on placing this in pavilion at a major thoroughway. We don't want to go down, or the people don't want to go down the beaten path. And I'm not trying to be negative. Nobody's going to go to Campbell Park. Nobody's going to go to the airport. Although I'm in favor of doing it at the airport. I think it makes good sense on that part there because there'll be a lot of people there. And a question that somebody brought up earlier, I don't know who it was, but we don't have any property, to put this place at, period. I mean, you go down, you come in off 321, East Houston, turn left, going down Washington Avenue, turn right, going to 105. There's no properties available for that and to accommodate restrooms and food trucks and stuff of that nature. We don't have it. We thought we had it there at the old Fireman's Hall, but what do we do? Like you said, like Nikki said, we can build another one, or like you said, Robert, we could build a nicer one over there.
Spend a little more money, really put something really special,
Yeah.
and put a restroom on it.
Yeah.
Add that in.
Well, they got that out there already.
No,
I mean, I'm talking about over here.
Not at the airport. The airport doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, airport, you don't put it here.
Oh, yeah, you don't
Well,
have facilities.
no
for that.
restroom, it is an issue, I guess. Yeah, it's an issue.
Well, they didn't have a
Well-
restroom when they was doing, the trucks out there.
That's true.
And it's something, if the people downtown, say for instance, even next door, decided on a lunch break, and they don't want to drive to go get anything, they have that location there. I mean, that place, I mean, if you're growing, you see other things that are coming, it will be utilized.
Which place is this?
Where we've been put it,
There is infrastructure over there.
and people will be appreciative.
There's water and sewer over at the street somewhere we can tap into.
Yeah.
But if we wait and design the restroom and do it, I mean.
Next year.
This is just
I'll
like
have
every
no
other
ledge.
project.
Another idea is if you work with the surrounding businesses, asking them, hey, is it okay if people come in your store use the restroom, and you know why they're in there, they might want to shop around, might want to go to Walgreens, might want to go to the
They don't
Home Depot.
have one.
So,
So
so
you're
where does this leave
gonna go
us?
down to Jack in the Box and say, I'm not gonna buy anything, I just need to use your restroom, because I just ate from a food truck.
But it happens all the
Food truck-
time.
Food trucks pays $25, there's 3 of them, it's the most you can get out there. So we make $75, and I was told that the Kim can was 500. Did I hear that correctly? So that doesn't make a lot of financial sense.
Now, I'll speak on behalf of experience. If you put restrooms in, somebody's gonna have to monitor them and keep them locked because they will
Yeah.
be trashed out.
Yeah.
Unless you do it on the parks recreation facility, something that's, won't be unbreakable. But, hey, kids get in there and they get their paper towels and they start fighting and throwing stuff at each other. And I've seen it, I built 2 restrooms and it gets trashed all the time for the church.
Well,
Even if you enclose them, within a secure area, you build a restroom, and there is a fence around for protection when the downtown area is not in use. Because see, I was hoping, and we've talked about it before, revitalizing downtown. And the pavilion was a help, and we were talking about the restroom because there's one, and there's a Brian and Brennan that I've gone to, simply beautiful, and it's downtown for the patrons to use. Although ours wouldn't be that large, but something that could be enclosed, protected, where the little children wouldn't be able to go in and destroy everything.
Can I say something? So you're saying you want to put a restroom in there, only use it unless you have the availability of that facility?
And we have a facility, okay, we're talking about revitalizing downtown. Hopefully 1 year while I'm still above ground, we'll start having events here, yearly, annual events, more than one, in the downtown area, where people will flock and come to, oh, they're having this and they're having that. And there will be a restroom in an area that be accessible. We could choose an area that's accessible for everyone, whether you're shopping, whether you're coming to an event, because it's really needed. What was the November event that was here? It was downtown, because you had the fire truck over there. Something like that where people are, you have vendors, and people need to use the restroom.
You're talking about something like the municipal ball field. We got restrooms out there.
Oh, yeah, I know. Okay.
Hey, Roger, is it the municipal park, those restrooms, are they safe or do they get vandalized?
They get vandalized.
Hey, no, just know that all public restrooms get that.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Hey, let me back up here. Let's get on track.
Yeah.
We need to decide on this pavilion and what we're talking about, all these other things, that falls under our projects and things. We can discuss that on them, but I think we've got number 12 to decide. Do we want to build the same at the airport? We want to make that change? What do we want to do? And then on these other projects, things, what we need to do, that falls under our project.
Well, that's easy, because I'm not in favor of building this pavilion at the airport. I don't think it's adequate. I'd rather build a bigger one there. And I'm not opposed to putting one at Campbell Park, but, it's gotta be,
designed for that.
I mean,
Well, let's vote, maybe, y'all go ahead and vote.
well, I want it in town somewhere where the hustle and bustle is, where there's more commerce going around. But
Is it option to table this until we can find
there's
this
always,
location?
You got it on your last page.
There, but-
Old fire station B, that's what you're talking about.
yeah.
So just go ahead and vote it. What'd you say, Scott?
I was thinking, is there another place on the other side of the railroad, kind of closer to Texas Theater, that side where we just did all that sidewalk improvement? They closed down Travis right there for roads, for concerts, for different special events. Is there enough space somewhere in that area to accommodate a 30 by 18?
Where at?
On the other side of the railroad track, closer to like.
It's all railroad property.
That's what I'm saying, that's what I was asking him, is any,
But don't you
if there's a little piece of property that's 13 by 20 or 30 that we
But that
can.
won't fit the pavilion, we have to redo it. It's big.
Now, don't you
It's
have
30
to-
by, it's 30 by 18.
Now, don't you have to be 30 foot off from the center line?
That's what I was asking,
On
is there
each
anything
side, so
down there?
that there's no
that we
room
can-
down there.
It would be
Pop
pretty
it.
much
You had some
next to
space
that
from
bench.
there.
Next to that bench.
Okay. So this is where the EDC, as a group board, decided we wanted to put this pavilion. So why can't we put it in the place that we wanted to put it? Is there any?
Would this have to, would it have to go back to council?
Well, I don't care who it has to go, I don't care who it has to go back to, I'm just trying to figure out why can't we put it in, what's keeping that? Is there anything,
That's why I'm asking, saying,
can I
I'm with
ask a question or comment based on the things that I heard? They've used this site to try to have community gatherings with the food truck thing, correct? And just some of the issues they ran into with having people gather there. And I don't know how much has been talked about the lack of parking or how many people you anticipate to sit under it. But
Parking's
also, if you have people who want to sit in the pavilion, but not only not buy at Jack in the Box like you mentioned, but if you have people taking up parking spots of businesses to where their customers cannot park in order to get into the donut shop or other businesses, like we need to be mindful of, if we approve that location, whichever is approved, is there adequate parking? Is it the most safe of having, if you expect little kids to have picnics there, if that's the target audience, you've got major traffic, on the corners. So what is the best place for community gatherings? And that was my takeaway from what I heard with Ashley and the things about restrooms and space and parking, and that's why they had made a move. So I was just going to offer that as far as what I heard, that it was not necessarily for a large gathering the most adequate space, unless we can add more parking or something, or buy the lot next door. I don't know what the answer is, because I think it is trees right across, but it's
Parking is there.
yeah.
Maybe not on that particular one, right? There's some parking space available with turning to park. Right now it's grass, have you seen it?
Right, well,
I mean, it's not just geared toward food trucks. families can go out there and enjoy, get underneath it, eat, wherever, have to congregate. But parking is, you'll find a place to park. You're not, there's no, the old building where the advocate was, what is that now? What businesses are now?
Like pharmacy, a whole line of pharmacy.
We'll find a place to park. I'm just trying to occupy that lot with something nice.
The old corner.
Yeah, that would be my question to the city. You know, you vote this down, what alternatives, or y'all just want to keep the grass lot? I mean, is there, what would be the things that you'd like to see then?
Hang on.
Prove an
Because
area.
you're asking the councilman.
Yeah.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we, I'm not opposed to building a pavilion at Campbell Park. And I'm for building there. And I'm for building a bigger one and better one at the airport. But this subject, let's just vote on putting it right back where we decided, and then let them meet again and either approve it or kill it. If they kill it, we'll just nix the whole thing and spend their money at Campbell Park, because they said no.
Nobody said no to.
Okay, well, let's vote
I
on it.
make a motion that we go ahead and, plan to put this particular pavilion at the location where the old fire station was. And at a later date, we can do one in the airport. But right now, we need to stay focused on the projects that we already began to start working on. Because if not, we're gonna continue to do just what the city has been doing all the years that I can remember. Keep talking about things, and never get anything done. But I think this would be a big plus for the people, something that the people can actually see. So I'm making a motion that we go ahead and put this pavilion at the site that we originally mentioned.
Motion and second to go forward with this pavilion that's awarded to Bob Parker, his company, to build it at that site. And there's a second. Is there any discussion? I have a little discussion. If they choose not to, maybe they can choose to.
See, that's my argument, Vicki. Council shouldn't come back and tell you can't do that. We made that statement the other night. We hope that you would pick another place. But it's the way I see it. I'll vote this way. I'm for EDC. If that's where you want to put it, that's your decision.
Okay. Well, fine, great. Then y'all have to discuss it anymore. And then we'll, whatever other project, and we want to do 2 or 3 more pavilions, we can do that. I'm all for it. So, motion on the table and a second.
Mr. President, if they cancel it, then we can apply that money to
They're not-
our website.
They awarded the contract.
They award the contract.
If they
already.
can.
Contract's awarded.
We've got the money in marketing for there.
Yeah.
I know.
It may be soon after that we pay for restrooms over there too. That's fine too. But this motion is for the pavilion itself. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? There's none. Motion passes. So that's the only action item we've done on this action category. Okay, you see the list of this potential EDC projects. That's one of them. We see this every month. It's going to be on here every month too. Until we,
And we
once we build this thing, we can take it off the list.
And we had a pavilion at the airport.
Put that on the next one.
Yep.
Let's don't mess around. Let's do something.
Let's keep it
I
on.
got it down.
Okay. Surely that's our score back now.
No, we're losing 3-0. Man on first, man on third, and only one out.
Rangers,
Yep. Still top of the first.
they already.
3-0,
Who's our pitcher?
one out. Javier.
You're on the top of the first.
Yep. One out.
That's not good. Okay. We don't
Sorry.
have an executive session tonight. So is there a motion to adjourn? Sure.
We adjourn.
Second it.
All right. 9:30. Let's go home.